What's good, y'all? Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Turbo came back with another video. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody having a blessed day, a blessed week. As y'all can see by the title, I'm gonna be talking about staying down until you come up. I feel like a lot of people struggle with staying down until you come up. And people think it's a cliche saying, trust the process, whatever the case is. But there's a lot of people who struggle with doing that. And understand that in this life, it's all a give and take. It's all a sacrifice. Everything in this life requires sacrifice. Everything in this life requires you to give up something in order to gain something. If you're working a job, you're going to give up your time in order to gain the money. If you're, let's say right now, I have my CDL. So just in order to build, in order to grow, it's going to require you to cut off certain things. I would say this: in order to become a different person, in order to become a new version of yourself, you're gonna have to remove whoever the old version of you was. And just think about it like this: especially with doing short-term goals, it could be long-term goals as well, but a lot of the times, not staying down until you come up leads to a lot of procrastination. I would say that because a lot of times when you don't want to stay down until you come up is because you want to procrastinate. You might want to build a business. You might want to have some things that you need to do. Maybe, like I said, maybe it could be a short-term goal, a long-term goal, just anything. But say for instance the gym, right? Say you want to lose 20 pounds. In order to lose those 20 pounds, you're going to have to eat right. Because your diet is 90% of your weight. You know what I'm saying? Losing weight. Your diet is the main thing. The gym is like 30%, but your diet is like 70%. So, you want to gain, you want to lose those 20 pounds. But in order to gain that weight goal, in order to gain the new look that you see in the mirror, you're going to have to lose not eating the things that you want to eat. You're going to have to lose the things that you like. You're going to have to let that go. In order to obtain something new, you have to let certain things go. This is why when you're in toxic relationships, this is why when you're around certain type of friends, certain type of people, you're going to have to exit that environment in order to grow, in order to become a better version of yourself. You can't continue to be the same person and expect different results. You can't continue to hang around the same people, doing the same thing, and expect to evolve, expect to become a better version of yourself. It's never going to happen. This is why you're still in the same position that you're in 2, 3 years, 4 years down the line. You still haven't did the things that you need to be doing or that you said that you were going to do. Because look at your environment, Stand down until you come up. It just builds a lot of things. And it builds character. The people who are successful in life, usually they stay down until they came up. You hear these stories. When you hear people who were successful, you always hear the struggle story first. Rarely is the case where, people won a lottery or they might have had family that had money and stuff like that. But the real success stories, it always start off with struggle. It always starts off with a lack thereof. You know what I'm saying? So struggle is a requirement. I would say that the struggle is definitely a requirement in order to build a success. It has to be steps. It has to be a story. And the people who have the story are usually the most successful, are usually the most kind, are usually the most people who want to help others, because of the struggle. They understand. With struggle comes understanding. It comes with that. With struggle brings wisdom. So if you have some goals in your life, if you have things that you need to work on, understand that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun at first, but it's just something that you have to get over. It's a hurdle that you're going to have to jump over. It's a requirement, like I said. And here's the scary thing: a lot of people don't want to stay down until they come up, and then they end up staying down for the rest of their life. That's the sad thing about it. You know, think about, you might had a savings goal. Say if you want to save 10K, you don't want to stop going out to eat because it don't feel good. You don't want to stop taking trips. You don't want to stop doing unnecessary things. So you're never going to reach the goal. You don't want to stay down until you reach that 10K. So you would much rather live the same type of life because it's more fun. It's more convenient. You have to get out of this mindset of a convenience life, because convenience leads to procrastination. Convenience always leads to a standstill. You know, when you're familiar with certain things. You know, when say for instance, when you know exactly what's going to happen, there's no point of evolving. There's no point of growing. If you wake up, you know you're going to wake up at a certain time. You know you're going to do this. You know you're going to do that. It's just like a rat. It's like a rat running the cycle, like a rat race. Just running. You're always going to know what's going to happen. But when you don't know what's going to happen, it forces you to evolve. It forces you to grow. So that's why sometimes you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, you know, unforeseen circumstances, for you to not know what's next. Because when you know what's next, it's like it breeds contempt. Like you're just cool with it. You're cool with doing the same thing. You're cool with. That's why you have to get uncomfortable in this life. Like when you're comfortable, you just want to stay the same. Think about it, bro. Like your bills paid. You might not even be in the position that you're in right now. But hey, at least your bills paid. At least you got food. At least you can put gas in your car. Yes, that's a blessing as well. You know, don't get me wrong. You know, at least you're able to provide for yourself. But don't have a lot of people, they fall into the mentality of, okay, this is okay. And they never get to a point to where this is where I want to be in life. Because we all know nobody wants to be at a life where they're just getting by. You know, they're just making things happen. Nobody wants to live that life. I'm pretty sure people that live that life, yes, it's okay. Like I said, it's a blessing to be able to do those things. But nobody, just be real, bro. You don't want to live that life. You know, you want more out of life. So just being comfortable, it breeds contempt. It breeds you staying the same. It breeds you be like, oh, okay, well, at least I can do this. At least I can do that. But you know deep down inside, you really don't want to be doing this. This is not the life that you want to live. So you have to make yourself uncomfortable. This is why you have to take risks. You have to jump out and do things that necessarily that you don't really do on a normal, you know. And doing those things is going to require you to elevate. You know, like me, I'm a person to where like I'm really reserved. I'm really laid back. But I want to start like talking to more people. I want to start because think about this, when you pray to God for something, He's always going to put you in a situation for you to grow. If you say, God, I want you to help me with my anger, or God, I want you to help me with patience, He's going to put you in a situation, in a scenario for you have to be patient in that time. He's not just going to put patience inside of you. He's going to put you in situations and in scenarios to where you have to be patient, to where your patience is tested. This is what you call a test. This is what you call building character. That's how it happens. God, help me with my patience. Help me get more wisdom. He's going to put you in scenarios to where you have to gain more wisdom. And you have to understand that. That's what wisdom comes in at. That's what knowledge comes in at. Understanding. When you ask God for things, He's not just going to, well, sometimes He just give it to you, but it's all a lesson at the end of the day. Things need to be earned, you know. So I hope this video will help somebody. You know, just don't be content the way you at, especially if you know that's not where you want to be in life. Don't be content where you at. Always want to grow, always want to evolve. I always want to become a better version of you each and every day. I don't care if it's a very, very, very small thing that you did. Maybe you had a goal of telling somebody, you know, just giving somebody a compliment today, you know, or in the next day give somebody 2 compliments. Even if it's a small thing, bro, like just become better each and every day, you know. So I'm coming towards the end of the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna try to. It's gonna be after this week. It's gonna be pretty hectic because, like I said, I got my CDL, so I'm gonna be on the road. I'm gonna be on the road in training, so I'm gonna try to get some videos in, but you know, we gonna see. But I'm gonna continue to elevate. I'm gonna continue to be the best version of myself. I'm gonna continue to grow, and I hope y'all are doing the same. I hope y'all on the same path as me. You know, just being better each and every day. You know, so like I said, I love y'all, all of y'all. I'm very thankful for y'all commenting. You know, just letting me know what y'all going through and the things that y'all need help on, because I'm just like y'all. Like I always say, there's always things that I gotta grow on. There's things that y'all gotta grow on, and we can grow together. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out.